It was a cold January 1st in the year 1974, Crested Butte. Along the snowy road, Ewald Wolfgang Waldvogel rode on his horse. The character is good at first aid, hardy, and good with weapons, but he doesn't handle guns all too well and doesn't know how to communicate with people. He isn't telepathic and often engages in self-deception. The 70s, a time when hippies revolutionized the world and made people happy. In the 70s, every passerby would smile at you, and you'd have to smile back whether you meant it or not. It was actually kind of creepy. Ewald hated the 70s. Nevertheless, he accepted everything before 69 and everything after 79, except 52 and 2047. That day, Ewald came home later than usual. His wife didn't understand what had happened then, but Ewald's 12-year-old son, named Ewald, was grinning ear to ear. It was the first time that the boy had been entrusted with a secret. Ewald gave his son his first name and not his last name. He thought that the name Ewald did not sound at all like the last name Waldvogel, so he gave his son the last name Gersel, which would be changed to Gray in the future through incorrect pronunciations. So what happened on January 1st on that snowy road? In the snowdrifts under a thick layer of ice, Ewald saw a wolf. At that time, Crested Butte was frequently subject to wolf attacks and cattle thievery. Ewald himself, under everyone's influence and pressure from his parents, had always dreamed of becoming a farmer too. These pests were a blight on America's economy and were hated by all, and they were especially not welcome at Crested Butte. Ewald himself, under everyone's influence and from the pressure of his parents, started hating them on his 6th birthday. It happened right before September 1st. Ewald was supposed to go to his 1st grade. He made up his mind already then that he hated them, so he would have no problems with his classmates and this matter in the future. He saw them not only as his peers, but as future partners in the cattle business. For his 6 years of age, he was incredibly responsible. The wolf would have been fine, but our protagonist was too dumb. He decided to take him home with them. It'll come in handy. Walt thought the wolf was dead. The lack of a heartbeat told him so. As it would later turn out, it was Ewald's heart that lacked a beat. Ewald Wolfgang Waldvogel was a heartless man. He hid the wolf from prying eyes by throwing it on the sled pulled by horses, and covered the wolf from above with a thick leather cloth. When he arrived at home, he told his wife about his find, but Ewald's little son was in the room with her. Although he was only 12 years old, he was a very intelligent boy. While all his peers were enjoying their childhood, little Ewald had already been a teenager in his mind for about 3 years. He scoffed at his peers and thought them incredibly stupid. "That boy is just like his father," an aged voice would say, belonging to Mrs. Bingle, and she was right. Even though he had lived in Crested Butte for so many years, Ewald had never seen a wolf. So that day, he pulled on his hat, his father's jacket, his mother's shoes, his grandmother's purse, and ran to see the wolf. Ewald struggled to pull back the thick covering, but then the view was revealed to him. He looked directly into the eyes of the object of the city's hatred. Ewald looked at the wolf too. It turned out that they weren't as scary as his father had described them. But what Ewald didn't know was that his father was simply afraid of them. When he saw that the wolf was alive, the boy ran home and told his father. He flipped out, as he had not expected such a turn of events. He wanted to shoot the beast, but could not, as his son was looking at him. And in the reflection of his eyes, the man saw himself. "We'll keep him, but I'm not going near that thing. And if you want him to survive, you're going to have to take responsibility." In that second, little Ewald turned 1 minute older, grew 1 inch taller, and gained 1 extra gray hair from his fear of adulthood. So much responsibility fell on him in just 1 day. He cursed adulthood and all of Crested Butte for his ruined childhood and the high taxes. The boy had 3 things to do. First, clean out the chicken coop and light the oven. Second, drag the wolf over there. And third, to dress its wound and feed it. Ewald rolled up his sleeves and got to work. He ate 2 bowls of cereal and 3 Eggo waffles with maple syrup. Then he let go of his sleeves and went to take care of the wolf. Mom didn't know about all this. She preferred to stay out of other people's business, and it had saved her life more than once. The only thing she cared about was whether Ewald wore a hat. One was more likely to die of hypothermia in Crested Butte than at the hands of another human. A week went by. The wolf still hadn't moved. It hardly ate or drank. All its energy went to recovery. 2 weeks passed. The wolf could already get up and walk slowly. But it got tired quickly and sometimes fell down right in the middle of the barn. A month passed. Nature did its work and the wolf recovered. It was already spring outside, so occasionally, under cover of night, the father and son duo let the wolf out for a walk. It did not go far, knowing that it wouldn't survive in the woods alone in this condition. Alright, that should clear things up with the wolf. Now let's get back to our lads. Little Ewald took care of the wolf every day, which brings up several questions. Did he attend school at all? Did he have any friends? And why are his parents staying quiet? Ewald Wolfgang Waldvogel knew that if everyone found out about the wolf, his family reputation would have been ruined forever. The same reputation that he had been building since his introduction to society, and it had begun when he was a baby. He understood and accepted all the risks and did not wish his son such a life. Wolfgang was already interested in wolves, although he was also interested in cigarettes, alcohol, what glue smelled like, and so on. In general, he was attracted to everything his parents forbade him. On the night of May 3rd, they heard a wolf howling. It came from the barn where their secret wolf lived. It turned out to be a she-wolf. Upon entering the barn, the only thing Ewald could say at the moment was, "Hell no!" On May 3rd, the she-wolf gave birth to 3 beautiful and enchanting wolf cubs. All of Crested Butte that day had heard that howl and gathered to see what was going on. On May 3rd, a girl named Mindy on the other side of the country was celebrating her birthday. Besides her, thousands of other people were celebrating their birthdays that day too. That very second, at Crested Butte, a little boy met with grief. Their secret was discovered, and they had to let the she-wolf and the children go. A little later, that same May 3rd day, a 12-year-old boy by the name of Ewald Gray would come to hate the community. Everyone blamed Wolfgang for letting the wolves go into the woods, and they would continue to attack them again. They stopped saying hello to him, and at night after the hunt, Ewald Wolfgang Waldvogel received as many disgruntled looks as there were burning streetlights in the street of Crested Butte. He was a very lonely man. Ewald Jr., meanwhile, continued to assure everyone that the attacks would stop. Allegedly, they had saved not a regular wolf, but a wolf queen. But everyone just laughed and kept silent in response. Coincidence or not, we do not know for sure. But after that incident, the wolves in Crested Butte would not be seen for another 70 years.